Paige, what do you see?
Well, Dave, truly insane damage here in South Charleston. We're a little bit further from where the bulk of the damage is, just because the further up you go, you start to lose service. But we spoke to a lady a little more than an hour ago, and her bridge to her home was completely washed out. I mean, she has to enter and exit her home on foot. She can't use a car to get in, and it's just completely gone. And that is a common theme the further up the road you go. But I want you to take a look at this drone footage from our Eyewitness News Sky Team drone. You can see here just how intense this flooding was last night. It caused cars to pile up in some areas and sending them into the creek, and we can really just see how widespread this damage is. Some neighbors in the area tell us they have seen flooding in the area over the years, but this is the worst they've ever seen it. They say now they will begin the cleanup process, which includes starting to repair the damage left behind.
All my driveway's washed away, and my yard is messed up, so I had to redo that. So now, you have to live with it. Nothing you can do about it.
And Roger Hartwell says he is going to have to repair his bridge that sustained damage as well. And this area is just one of many that was hit in South Charleston. Kanawha County is asking people that sustained damage last night to fill out a weather damage survey. Live in South Charleston, Paige Taylor, Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Paige. We now head over to Boone County, where Daniel Burbank is live. Daniel.
We're here on Lenz Creek Road, which is also called Route 94, and a dramatic scene from how it was compared to earlier in the day, where we've seen more of this hill slip continue to slip. In fact, I spoke with a Boone County commissioner. He met me out here a little while ago. He says they've lost at least 3 feet of road here in just a couple of hours. Big stark contrast. That's, by the way, about the third set of cones that they have put out here. Some of the DOH cones have actually fallen all the way down the hill. Now let's take a look at video from earlier in the day from our Eyewitness News Sky Team drone. At the time, the DOH had put those barrels to warn drivers around the curve, but just hours later, those barrels falling off the hillside. Now, we're hearing about other issues along Route 3, down trees, power lines, and county leaders are trying to come up with a plan. We spoke with one person about his experience with last night's flooding. Take a listen.
Yeah, we put cones down. Actually, Melton did last night, just to let everybody know not to go on the edge down there where they're still at, because it's undermined underneath the asphalt. The road's it'll cave in. I'm just wondering when it is. With these coal trucks pounding it, it probably won't take very long.
And actually, a survey conducted by the West Virginia Department of Transportation back in 2022 says that around 4,300 cars travel along Lenz Creek Road every single day. Now, the Boone County Emergency Management Team have opened up a weather damage survey so leaders can collect information about where to better understand where needs are necessary within communities. Now, I just want to point out this is not a relief survey, a relief application, but rather this is just some data collection. Now, if you do need some help filling out this application, you can always call 211. That phone number opens up for help at 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Anna Saunders spent the day in Sissonville, an area where crews had several water rescues. Anna.
Yeah, Dave, even a day later, we are still seeing high water. I'm here along Sissonville Drive, and as you can see behind me, this road is still impassable. It was like this morning. It remains this way. I was told this is one of those roads where the high water does seem to linger for a few days, so that could be what happens here. Now, while some people are dealing with this, others are starting the cleanup process after water got into their homes last night.
This isn't Tiffany Hamrick's first flood at her house on Lotus Drive, but she said this is up there with one of the worst.
It's all a panic. I mean, I've been through it before, but it never gets any easier. I was worried about my pets being in there, but it got to the point in the house where we had to get out.
She and her family just some of Sissonville Fire Department's water rescues last night. With the help of multiple departments, they responded to more than 10 calls for water rescues in a 2-hour time span. 8 people and 3 pets were rescued.
Had it not been for our mutual aid departments, we wouldn't be able to handle the amount of calls that we got last night. They came so quick, so fast, and there were so many victims, and one department doesn't have the resources to handle that call volume.
And then this is another one of our classrooms here.
Mike Evans is a co-pastor at Sissonville Community Church. It took on water in the basement last night, leaving mud behind in the classrooms, activity rooms, and hallways. Now they're planning a weekend of cleanup.
One thing that I've learned about the people of this church and this community really is just that they're just so resilient. And so we've already got volunteers and people messaging and saying, hey, how can we help, and things like that.
For the church and for Hamrick, flooding is nothing new, but Hamrick says it is getting old as she is looking for a new place away from the creek.
I'm really distraught. You never know. I mean, my house is a mess, and it's just cleanup time, I guess, to see what we can do, what we can save.
Now, we mentioned all of the water rescues that took place last night, but we actually watched one ourselves here in Sissonville today when a woman drove into the water. She was able to be rescued by the fire department, but just goes to show that even now, a day later, still dealing with some of those issues. Live in Sissonville, Anna Saunders, Eyewitness News.